What's the good word, y'all? DKB here. For starters, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for everyone that's serving, who has served or has family otherwise. It's greatly appreciated. But into jumping into football, we had Damien Woody, ESPN analyst currently. He used to be a former player with the Patriots and the Jets. He made a prediction that I don't think is as wild as what people may expect, in saying that he thinks the New York Jets can win the AFC East. And I say it's not crazy for a number of reasons. When we take a look at the latter part of our schedule, these remaining 8 games um, aren't as strongly contested as what we probably would have guessed in the beginning of the season. Really, there's only a handful of people that I would say would probably give us some manner of struggle, just based on the way our team is still currently constructed, and the way that we plan on winning games, which is grinding it out on the ground, playing a strong defense, having some field advantage with special teams. Um, but when we kind of take a look at the whole situation, let's kind of dive into it, right? So we're essentially one game behind being in first place because the Bills had an early bye week. So we'll see what happens after this week. Us doing nothing can potentially play to our benefit while we rest up, while Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur and Ulbrich are making sure they can continue to accelerate this offense and defense and the development of a lot of these key players. Now, looking back at it, the last time the New York Jets won the division was 2002, and that is when we had crazy players galore. At least offensively, we had Vinny Testaverde and Chad Pennington, we had Santana Moss, we had Lavorne Coles, we had Curtis Martin, we had Wayne Corbett, Anthony Beck. It was a very well rounded team. So fast forwarding now, we've gone to the what I'm calling Rex Ryan Formula 2.0. Rex Ryan, he got to the playoffs on a strong run game, minimizing mistakes made by Mark Sanchez to the best of his ability. Of course, strong offensive line is part of that run game, but then a world class defense, right? And that looks like the makings of what Robert Saleh has been able to build, except Rex Ryan wasn't able to put the same caliber of pieces around the offense that Rex Ryan has done in order to help support and build up Zach Wilson's skill set, fundamentals, confidence, etc. So why not? I mean, at least currently, from a statistical standpoint, the Jets, even with the 6-3 record and being a game out of first place in our division, have a less than a 10% chance to win. Ideally, it's probably going to be the Dolphins or the Bills that end up winning out. You can never really count out the genius that is Bill Belichick, but then we have us as the new dark horse in here. And when you take a look at it, I'm not really concerned. I mean, we're what, working on a 4-0 away record, which means we definitely have that strong mental fortitude. I don't care about any excuses about us playing backups, us catching breaks, the miracle Cleveland's game, none of that. Bad teams can't take advantage of bad breaks that other teams are fumbling the ball on. So the fact that we were able to make do with what we did, and we have the record that we are, I think is a huge testament to Robert Saleh. We're taking a look at a 2-1 division record, and we have wins over the Dolphins and the Bills, which is a huge plus for us. We have an opportunity to salvage another huge piece in the evolution of the New York Jets, with hopefully crushing the Patriots next week. And when I take a look at the rest of our schedule, I mean, for offenses, I'm really only concerned with the Bills, the Seahawks, and the Dolphins. And the Bills are ranked number 6 in terms of the DVOA rankings in offense. Bills are number 6, Seahawks are number 7, Dolphins are number 2. You're talking about the Bills, who can be explosive at any given point in time. The Dolphins, same thing. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle can go off in any quarter. They can go off at the same time, and then that opens things up for Raheem Mostert. And with the Seahawks and Geno Smith at the helm, you've kind of seen an evolution of that offense go to places that you haven't really seen since Russell Wilson in his prime, and they also have a very strong run game. So it's a lot of the same fundamentals. They just have this newfound passing attack that's been working for them. But ideally, taking a look at them, I think I'm most confident in us still being able to shut down the Seahawks' weapons. DK Metcalf is a beast of his own, but I think we still match up very well between Sauce Gardner being able to go around and follow, DJ Reed and Tyler Lockett as smaller guys that are shiftier, etc. I think we match up a little bit better than them than with some of the skill sets that the Dolphins and Miami's receiving team is bringing. Defensively, in terms of what can stress us out the most for our offense, assuming we don't put pieces together and see a world class turnaround, the Patriots, of course, as always, rookies, second year players, etc. For the most part, all New York Jets quarterbacks have struggled against some of these coverages and things that Bill Belichick does in order to buy extra time to allow these sacks and these forced mistakes after you get down 21 points in a quarter. I do think we see a huge turnaround there. Again, I'm kind of relying a bit on the fact that Zach Wilson has always done extremely well coming off of time away, and those have been due to injury before. But irregardless, I think that time served well. And of course, this being a revenge game will kind of work in our benefit a little bit. The Bills are going to be another one, and that's just because they have a strong defensive front. Tremaine Edmonds is a monster at linebacker. You take a look at their back end. Normally, they would have Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer there, and they're getting Tre'Davious White back. There's a lot of pieces that can gel together pretty quickly, and respectively, the Patriots are number 5 and the Bills are number 4 defensively. So I don't think it's that far gone. I mean, 5 of our 8 teams, only in one specific area, might cause us some concern in it being maybe a close game. But I really think we have the makings, especially if we can get our offense going early. And I'll keep saying this, any team that gets in a deficit early against us, they're going to have a prolific turnaround within that game in order to win. The way that we've been able to lock down and crush people, and the fourth quarter is a direct, result of those performances. We're outscoring teams almost by 60 points in the fourth quarter. And yes, those are comeback wins, but then when we actually get the lead, we clamp down. Teams aren't really putting up many points whatsoever for us in the second half of games. So I'm extremely confident in our ability there if we put a very good first half of the games together. And then, yeah, it's just a lot of faith in Mike LaFleur turning things around. And so I don't think it's too far foregone. The prediction I believe I had in the beginning of the season was a 11-6 record. And I think 11 wins definitely gets us into the playoffs. I don't know if it'll help us win the AFC East, but based on how things are changed now, we play the Bears. We have of course, the Patriots coming up next week, but then we play the Bears. We have the Vikings. We have the Bills, the Lions, the Jags, the Seahawks, and the Dolphins again. And I'm pretty confident in us being able to take about 5 or 6 of those wins. Maybe we can steal another one against, the Bills, depending on what's happening with Josh Allen. Maybe we're able to also impact Tua's game the way that we've seen against the other quarterbacks in the Dolphins rankings. But irregardless, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Is Damien Woody crazy for thinking the AFC East is within our hold? Or do you think it's enough that we just securely make sure that we have a wild card spot under our thumb? Or do you predict maybe a collapse and, things fall off the rails? But looking forward to the comments, and I will catch you guys again. Peace.